As Brittney Griner returns home, President Biden has vowed he will not give up on another American in Russian custody. Paul Whelan, a U.S. Marine veteran, was arrested and charged in 2018 with espionage. He is currently serving a 16-year sentence in a Russian penal colony. Whelan has denied the espionage charges. And in a phone call with CNN yesterday, Whelan said he is happy Griner was released, but disappointed that more has not been done to secure his own release. We're joined now by Paul's sister, that's Elizabeth Whelan. Elizabeth Whelan, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on.
I would imagine it was a bittersweet day for your family yesterday. The family statement was very thoughtful and very gracious. But I'm wondering how you all are processing that Brittney Griner is home and your brother is still in custody.
Well, I'm not going to say there weren't emotional moments when we first heard the news, but I think a certain amount of resolve and determination has taken over. We need to solve this problem, not just for my brother, but also for Americans in general who want to travel. Hostile, weak foreign nations taking Americans prisoner and holding them as hostages. This has to stop, and my brother needs to come home.
And there's already some criticism about this deal that, the U.S. made the swap for a merchant of death, a really, as some people say, really terrible man who's done terrible things, for an WNBA basketball star, that it's really not a fair trade, and your brother still remains behind. What do you say about the politics that are now seeping into this?
Oh, they really infuriate me. To begin with, where have all those people been for the last 4 years when my brother's been held? Where were their good ideas? I hope they're sharing them with the National Security Council. The way I look at it, once a hostile foreign nation has taken an American prisoner, we need to do whatever it takes to get them back. And then we need to use punishments and deterrence to stop it from happening again. So I welcome anyone who wants to share their ideas. They can send them to me. I'll pass them on.
Elizabeth, your brother yesterday said he was disappointed that more were not being done, but I've heard you say you think everything that can be done is being done. What are the next steps given that impasse?
Well, my brother Paul, unfortunately, we can't tell him everything that's going on, obviously. I can't tell a lot of people everything that's going on. It's really difficult. This is not an easy thing to solve. We have a country, Russia, who is trying purposefully to cause trouble over here. They weren't going to, in my opinion, send both Paul and Brittney home at the same time and give our president the win. But we need to figure out a way around that. I don't know exactly what that solution is. I constantly lob crazy ideas at the people who are in charge of that, hoping that some of my ideas will spur them onto action that will actually result in Paul's release.
Elizabeth, you spoke with President Biden yesterday on the phone. What did you say to him? But more importantly, did he say anything to you that brought you some comfort?
To a certain extent, it was a continuation of conversations I've had both with him and with the people who work for him. I don't look for apologies. I look for action. And I am willing to be very plain spoken about that.
We heard the president yesterday say that Russia is treating Paul's case differently, and they certainly are. He's charged with espionage. He had a jump drive, they say, with state secrets in their view. What do you make of these charges, which the U.S. says are illegitimate and improper, that Russia is leveling against your brother?
Oh, they're as ridiculous as it comes. This is a Russian fairy tale. They planted that USB drive on my brother and then 5 minutes later arrested him for quote unquote espionage. This is a story they have concocted, and they're trying to use they're trying to stick to the story in order to get leverage over the U.S. They have treated Paul's case differently from Trevor Reed and differently from Brittney's. It's a definite problem.
Does the Whelan family have hope still that the government will come through for you?
Well, we have to, don't we? I mean, the problem is that the foreign governments who are taking Americans like this, they're not taking them because of the specific person. They're taking them because they want to get back in some way at the United States. So, yes, I do have hope. The folks right now who have been working to first get, Trevor and Paul back and then trying to get Brittney and Paul back, they are going to all lengths to try to make that happen. But I do think for Paul, you know, when I think of how he must feel, how it must look to him, not having all the information that we do, and wondering why was I left again? Why did that, you know, why did it only work for Brittney? At the same time, you know, I'm going to say again, we are very pleased to see Brittney come home. Any wrongfully detained American that comes back from overseas is a win for America.
Yeah, and the Griners say they're going to work to keep the attention on Paul's case as well. They're with you in your fight. Yeah,
when I saw Sherelle say that yesterday, that was the first emotional crack, really, to see that support.
Yeah, they definitely are supporting you. Thank you very much, Elizabeth Whelan. The family letter, as I said, was very thoughtful and very gracious. We thank you.